Welcome back students. Now we are here with the explanation of second part of the lesson, that is a thief's story. Now there are some questions you have to find out after watching this video. How does the thief think Anil will react to the theft? Second question, what does he say about the different reaction of people when they are robbed? Third question, does Anil realize that he has been robbed? So we will try to find out these answers. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat on the floor considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. In this paragraph, the narrator is describing the situation when he was about to do the theft. There was a beam. Beam means a light, a ray of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. And the narrator was observing the situation that if he took the money, he could catch the train which was 10:30 express to Lucknow, means he can run away towards the Lucknow. And after that he slipped out of his blanket and crept through the bed where Anil was sleeping, where he tucked the money under the mattress, and Anil was sleeping very peacefully. His face was very clear and it was unlined, means there were not any marks on his face. And the narrator himself is thinking that there are too many marks on his face, though mine were mostly scars, means most of these marks were scars. Scars means wound marks. Okay, now next one. My hand slid under the mattress searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil shied in his sleep and turned to his face side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. So what happens? The narrator now slided towards the mattress and he searched the notes. And when he found that, without doing any sound, but Anil shied and turned his face towards the robber, towards the thief. And when he saw that Anil has turned his face towards him, he was startled. Startled means surprised. And he quickly crawled out of the room. Now what happens next? When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist, held there by the string of my pajama. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes, 600 rupees in 50s. I could live like an old rich Arab for a week or two. After slipping out from the room, the narrator, the thief, began to run, and he had kept these notes under his waist with the help of the string of pajama, and he got slowed down while he was walking, and he counted the rupees, and it was 600 rupees, and all of them were of 50 rupees notes. And he was thinking that he could live like a rich person and oil owner of Arab countries for a week or two. As you can see, there is the scene of robbery. Now, when I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office because I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages, but I hesitated. For some reason, I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. So what happens when he counted that money? He reached to the railway station and he did not buy the ticket because he never bought any ticket in his life and he always used to do the journeys without ticket. So the Lucknow Express was still moving out, means the Lucknow Express was now about to go and it was started moving. The train had still to pick up the speed, and he had the chance to jump up to get the carriage and to get into the train, but he hesitated this time. That is the moment, that is the turning point of the story. He did not get the train. While he reached there, he could get the train, he could get any carriage of the train, but he hesitated, he stopped himself. For some reason I can't explain. The narrator is saying that there was a reason behind that while I was stopping there, but I can't explain what happened to me, why I hesitated there, why I did not jump into the carriage. I lost the chance to get away. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help, and I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. So, when he did not jumped into the train, means he did not enter the train, means he did not run away from that place. That time he was standing alone on the deserted platform. Deserted means lonely, means there were not too many people, and he had no idea where to spend the night. Means the thief was still confused that where to go because he has not a specific place to spend the night, and he had not any friends because he used to think that people friends are usually for trouble, means they makes or they take us to the troubles, and that is why he did not make friends. And he did not want to go to a hotel because he don't want anyone to know about him, and there was the only one person who whom he knows, that was the man he has already robbed. Now he is leaving the station and he is walking through the bazaar. Bazaar means market. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, and the rich showed anger. The poor man showed acceptance. But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. This is the important paragraph, and questions usually been asked from this paragraph. So he is saying, the narrator is saying that in his short career means current time he is only 15-year-old, means that his short career in the theft. Is that clear? So his short career as a theft, he is saying that he had studied men's faces when they lost their goods, and he is saying that, that is the important line, that greedy men showed fear when they are robbed, the rich man showed anger, and the poor man showed acceptance. But he is saying that, but I know the Anil's face would be when he will discover the theft. The Anil's face will show the sadness, not because of loss of money, but because of loss of trust. Okay, now next one. I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. That the night was chilly. It was early November, and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My shirt and pajama stuck to my chin, and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. So what happens? After that, he went towards the Maidan, the ground, and sat down on a bench. And it was the time of early November, means it was the time of winter season, and there was a light drizzle. Drizzle means a light rain, means not very much heavy. A light drizzle added my discomfort, means there was too much cold there, and light drizzle also get also got down the temperature. Soon it was raining quite heavily, so his shirt and pajama was also stuck in his chin, means there was heavy raining and wind also, and the cold wind blew the rain across my face, means the weather was getting bad and bad. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes, they were damp from the rain. So what happens? He went to the bazaar, he went to the market, and he sat down on a shelter of clock tower. And when he saw the time, it was midnight, means around 12 o'clock, and he felt that the notes which he robbed from Anil were now damp. Damp means wet. Is that clear? Now Anil's money in the morning, he would probably given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to cinema, but now I had it all. I could not cook his meals, run to the bazaar, or to learn to write whole sentences anymore. And while he was sitting under the clock tower, he was thinking that next day Anil would have given him 2 or 3 rupees to go to cinema, but he had got all his money. And he is also thinking that he would not be able to cook for him, and he would not be able to go to market for him, and he will also not be able to learn to make sentences. Now next one. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences I knew could one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter of steal, and sometimes just as simple to be caught. But to be a really big man, a clever and respected man was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. So this time the thief has realized his mistake, that what he has done to Anil and what he has done to himself also, because he was learning to make whole sentences there, and he was also learning to add numbers also, so which was going to very good for him, but he has done the mistake. Now this time he is talking to himself and saying to himself that in the excitement of theft he has forgotten all the things which he was getting from Anil, like adding numbers or making the full sentences. And he was also thinking that time, that if he would get the better education from Anil, if he would get the education, he would get too many rupees, means too much rupees, too many rupees. Like this time he had only 600 rupees, and if he would be an educated man, he would get too much rupees, too many rupees. And this time, and after studying with the help of Anil, he could be a real man. Real man means he could be a big man, and he could also be a respected man. Now he is thinking that he should go back to the Anil, and he is telling himself that he should go to Anil and he should learn there how to read and write. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway. In clouded moonlight, Anil was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed and my hand came up with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress and I slipped under it with the notes. So, what happened when he decided that he should go back to Anil? So, he hurriedly went to the room, and there the moonlight was still there, and he silently went to the room and near the bed, and he also put the money at the same place from where he has got. I woke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50 rupee note between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. So what happens? The next morning, Anil woke up early and he himself had made the tea and he was stretching his hand towards me that time. He was also giving 50 rupee note. There was a note between his fingers. Means there was a note between the fingers of Anil and he was stretching his hand towards the thief. This time the thief was very frightful. He thought that he had been discovered, means his theft has been discovered. The next, I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. This time Anil told to the thief that he had made some money, he had earned some money and he will pay him regularly. He will pay the thief regularly. Now, what happens? The narrator is expressing his feeling that my spirits rose, but when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. Today we will start writing sentence, he said. The narrator is saying that when I saw that note that was still wet means the the narrator thought Anil has already came to know that the person, the thief, has taken the money from under the mattress, and after some times he has after taking the money, he had also returned the money at the same place. Now Anil did not show any sign that he knows everything about the theft. So what happens? Anil said to him, today we will start writing sentences, he said. So Anil told him that as regularly they used to do, that they will start writing the sentences. But the narrator knew that, but neither her lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself without any effort. Means he knew. The narrator is saying that Anil knew what happened last night. Anil knows everything about the theft and how he taken the money, how he took the money and how he get back that money under the mattress. Anil knows everything, but neither Anil's lips nor his eyes showed anything. Is that clear? And the narrator is saying that I smiled in my most appropriate way, means as he usually do. And the smile came by itself without any effort. So that is the story we have covered here. That is the second lesson we have covered. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. It is a very interesting story about a thief, how he changed his life with a small incident with the help of a man. His name was Anil. So it was a very beautiful story. I hope you have enjoyed it. And after that, you need to write down the question answers which are mentioned here, and this one also, which were in the starting. These are 2 marks questions, so you will write down 30 to 40 words, and these ones, in these questions you will write down in 100 to 150 words or about to 150 words.